Test 1, 2, 3, test.
Check. Check 1, 2. Check 1. Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to Exhibition Park Raceway. Sunday, October the 16th. It's the makeup card from yesterday. It's the final card of the racing season, and we are told the final card here ever at Exhibition Park Raceway. We are featuring 3 divisions of the New Brunswick Breeders' Championship today, 2 for the 3-year-old colts going for over $8,000, and in race number 6 today, over $32,000 on the line for 5 of the New Brunswick Breeders 2-year-olds here this afternoon. We have many memorials on the card today. I want to thank all the sponsors for that, and we will throughout the day as well. And it all Winds up here in race number 7 today, the Ingham Palmer Memorial. Ing the King, high atop the grandstand pace. So make sure everybody's out here for that. Just a note, anybody wanting to go to the winter circle today, please do. We invite all the fans out to any of the winter circles here this afternoon. If you want to share in the day, and we invite everyone out for the last one here in race number 7. Just a note, there will be horses warming up on the racetrack, also equipment on the racetrack. So please, anyone heading to the winter circle, please be conscious and knowledgeable of what's going on around out there. A lot of horses, a lot of equipment. So let's be safe here this afternoon, but we would like as many to participate in that as we can. First of 7 is set to go at 1 p.m. We have one change on the card. It comes up in race number 1. Horse 2, Love in Paradise, a transportation scratch. Take out the 2. Love in Paradise, race number 1. She's a transportation scratch. All parimutuel pools will stand. Note from the parimutuel department. All pools, including the pick 5 today, are mandatory payouts. So if no pick 5s are sold with 5 winners, they'll pay out on 4, then 3, etc. But there will be no carryovers here today. All monies wagered will be paid out at the completion of each race. So today's races are conducted under the rules and regulations of the Atlantic Provinces Harness Racing Commission. Today's judges are Mr. Bob Wallace, Mr. Ed Smith, and Mr. Robbie Shaw. Kevin Kroll's in town to be our starter here today. First of 7 goes to post at 1 p.m.
Testing.
Test 1 2 3. Testing 1 2 3. Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to Exhibition Park Raceway on this Sunday afternoon, October the 16th. Curtis Johnson joined alongside Scott Waddell, as always. Scotty, we're here on just coming off of what was our biggest card we probably had in 10 years back on the 1st of September, and we were all quite excited about it. Unfortunately, we don't have the same excitement here today with the developments going on, but we're here for a good card of racing today nonetheless.
Absolutely, and there's there's a lot of people that I've already seen out there, Curtis, amongst the early goers here this afternoon. So people are getting out and supporting us here this afternoon, so that's great to see. But dandy card to finish things off here, and we got coolers for each and every race, and that's certainly an added bonus for today.
Yeah, absolutely. Of course, we know we got our stake races today with our MB Breeders finals, but we've added a couple other blankets along the way that were put together this week by some people in some short notice, but it all worked out in the end. And namingly, of course, we're going to see a race for Brian Moore, and of course, fittingly ending out the card and possibly the track history with the Ingham Palmer in race 7.
Yeah, certainly fitting, definitely. Ingham's such a big part of Exhibition Park Raceway over the years, from his time announcing to doing his publicity stuff for Exhibition Park. And, back when we were the maritime, the giant of maritime racing here, Kurt, and, couldn't be a better fitting race to have Ingham's to finish things off here this afternoon. And I'm the type of person to say never, but
Eternal optimist,
oh
Scotty.
yeah, definitely. So if this is indeed the last card for Exhibition Park, then there's no better tribute than race 7 with the Ingham Palmer Memorial.
Race 6 today goes as the NB Breeders' 2-year-old Colton filly final. Very rich purse, $32,640. Field of 5 to contest that event. And of course, Scotty, all eyes will be on the 2-year-old daughter of Art Speak, Nanny Bernice, who's rattled off 5 wins in a row and looks to be in a good spot to take home the lion's share of that big purse.
Yeah, what a filly she's turned out to be. Of course, Janice Hubbard raised this filly, bred her in Ontario, and came home here to New Brunswick. And, she's made a great story with this little filly and the trotter as well, Hull of a Ride. So, but, she's definitely the one to beat. She's got post 1 and going for some big money. So, over 16 grand if she can get the job done here this afternoon.
Yes, absolutely. And we also have the 3-year-old finals going, which is definitely going to be happy fields for them, because we got 2 field of 3s going for almost 9,000. So it's and even if you go to the one we just mentioned, everybody's getting a check today, so everybody's going to go home with a little cash in their pocket.
Money. Yeah, exactly. And we've got, as you say, a couple of the MB Breeder Stake finals, and the Peter and Jean Memorial Pace coming up as race number 2. That's the Colt final. And then the filly final coming up in race number 4 with a field of 3, and Mac Lawson Memorial Pace coming up in that race 4, Kurt. So we've got the Brian Moore Memorial Pace coming up today, as well as the Patrick family pace. Ken Atkinson Pace will start things off today. So lots of things to look forward to here on our finale.
Absolutely. And as Brock mentioned upstairs, all the fans, anybody wants to go and get your picture taken today, absolutely, more the merrier. Welcome. We'll have those blanket presentations. Everybody be careful getting out on the track with equipment and horses being, but everybody, it's all about everybody getting together today. So we do that and come out and say hello, walk around. We see a lot of old faces here today. Beautiful weather here this afternoon. Of course, we switched the card off from yesterday, which was a great idea because it was kind of miserable here in the Port City yesterday.
Yeah,
so
it's dirty.
It's a nice, quite warm day for mid-October.
Yeah, it's like 19 degrees here today. But like you mentioned, Kurt, I know there's a lot of live racing fans that come out every week, and I know some of them probably have never even got their picture taken. So, I urge anybody that wants to come out and get their picture taken today to come out and get their photo taken in one of these races.
Yes, absolutely. Yeah. It's definitely a great day for fan participation here today.
Absolutely.
Come around, say hello. We've seen a lot of people walking around here today. Beautiful day. Come down, say hi to Scotty and me here at our booth. If it's going to be the last time, we're going to be here all day. We'll talk to you. We're not going to hide behind a boardroom door. We're going to be here to talk to everybody and enjoy a good card of racing here. 7 races here live. Of course, if you're with us, you can tune into the radio station 98.3. We have Sellers upstairs down here. Joanne's down here in the hut next to Scotty and I. You got self-serve machines. You can bet also on your mobile device, hpibet.com. So first race should be coming out on the track momentarily, only 9 minutes to post. And as soon as they do, Scotty and I will come back and we do what we do. We'll do some handicapping for you here, and we'll try to kick off the day with a winner.
Nine minutes to post on race number 1 here this afternoon at Exhibition Park. Starters will be making their way through the yard in a few moments' time. At this time, we'd just like to recognize all our sponsors on today's card. First race is the Kenneth Atkinson Memorial Cooler presentation to the winner. That cooler sponsored by Mr. Robbie Tate. We'd like to thank Robbie for his sponsorship here this afternoon. Race number 2, the first division of the New Brunswick Breeders' Stake. That is also the Peter and Jean Gray Memorial. We'd like to thank their daughter, Belinda Gray, along with Dave White, for sponsoring today's second race. The cooler in that race is sponsored by them. Number 3 is the Kirkpatrick family. Congratulations to them on being recognized this year at the Atlantic Breeders' Crown Championship. As the Brunswick family, been in the business for over 50 years. Absolute great accomplishment, and we're going to have a race in their honor here this afternoon. That one's sponsored by Dave Kirkpatrick. We want to thank Dave for that. Race number 4 is the Malcolm Lawson Pace. Mac Lawson used to run the racetrack here years ago, and he's remembered here today by his family, and we thank John Lawson for the sponsorship here this afternoon. Race number 5, the Brian Moore Memorial. That's sponsored by Mr. Scott Gallant. Scott out in Alberta, but he wanted to see a race here today in Brian's memory, and we thank him for that as well. Race number 6, the New Brunswick Breeders' Championship. For 2-year-olds going for over $32,000. That one sponsored by HRNB, and it rounds out the card here today with the Ingham Palmer Memorial. High atop the grandstand base, Ing the King will be remembered here in the final race at Exhibition Park. That one sponsored by Jamie Palmer and the Palmer family, and we do appreciate that. We want to thank all the sponsors here today. It's going to be a great day of racing, a sad day as well, but we get it all underway at 1 o'clock. In memory of Ingham, I want to wish you all luck to make that big buck. First race goes at 1 p.m. The horses and drivers for race number 1 are now stepping onto the track for the post parade. The horses and drivers for race number 1 are now on the track for the post parade. Race number 1 is the Kenneth Atkinson Memorial. Goes for a purse of $2,000. Daily double, exactor, triactor, win place are your betting features. Number 1 is Brookdale Johnny. He's owned by Douglas and Douglas Polly of Amherst, Nova Scotia. Bernard McCollum does the training. He will do the driving from the rail. Brookdale Johnny. Number 2, Love and Paradise, has been scratched due to transportation. The 3 is Roland Peg, owned by Dale Orr of St. John and Robert Orr of Oak Bay. Gordon White does the training. Mark Haig will do the driving. Number 3, Roland Peg. Number 4, Thank You All My Fans, owned by Robert McNeil of St. John de Brunswick. Bob does the training. Stephen Treitz will do the driving. Post 4, Thank You All My Fans. Number 5, J.J. Brienne, owned by John Davidson Jr. of St. John. John Davidson does the training. He is in the sulky from post 5, J.J. Brienne. Scratch down to a field of 4 here to contest race number 1, the Kenneth Atkinson Memorial. Cooler presentation to the winner. $2,000 is on the line. Daily double, exactor, triactor, win place, your betting features. Don't be left out on the first race today. Just a note from all the pari-mutuels, folks, there is a pick 5 in race number 3, mandatory payout on the pick 5 today. So if nobody selects 5 winners, it will pay out on 4 or 3, etc. So mandatory payout today in all pools.
And with starters on track for our first race of the afternoon, Ken Atkinson Memorial getting her kicked off here in the final card at EPR. And the first one, the parade, Scotty's who I landed on to be the winner here today. Brookdale Johnny, Pooker McCollum is here today with the 2-year-old son of Rockin' in Heaven. Got a good profile lately with a win in 2 seconds his last 3. 2 starts back there. He's a winning churro. Nice effort on that one. 158 and 129 and 4 on the end. Pooker's driving himself here today. He's owned by Doug Polly of Amherst, Nova Scotia. He has rail control here this afternoon, so we'll see if I get some spotted well. Of course, scratch down to the field of 4 with the scratch of the 2, but I'm looking at Brookdale Johnny to get her done here, Scotty, in the first race today.
Yeah, he looks the best, Kurt. He's got post 1 to work with here, and a well-bred son of rock and roll, Rockin' in Heaven. And like you say, 2 starts back there, a nice win, 158 and 1 with Paul Angel aboard. He gets Pooker McCollum back in the sulky. He's course driven him before, and nice to see Doug Polly bring the horses up here this afternoon. He's raced many a horses here at Exhibition Park Raceway, and had a chance to talk to him a few times around the Maritimes this year. So nice to see Doug and the crew here, and I like the colt here. And race 1 to win from post 1 here in the Ken Atkinson Memorial. Brookdale Johnny from post 1.
I put J.J. Brienne in this 2 spot here. I liked her with post 5. She now moves into post 4. Still bets as 5, but moves into post 4. I don't think it was going to bother her too much. She's got plenty of early step for Johnny D. And I think even more so now that she's moved in a spot on the gate, I think we'll see her try to bust out for the early lead as customary. Looking at the mare's line, has won 1 race this year out of her 12 starts, 3,500 in the bank. She's been racing the Summerside most recently back on September the 19th. Cut it out early, set some pretty snappy fractions and tired late. We'll see what Johnny puts her into play here today, and see if she can hang around for a piece of the pie here in race 1.
Yeah, she's got such tremendous gate speed, and I think you're going to see John go right for the front here, Kurt. Like you say, with the scratch of number 2, it moves her in a spot. So I like her from post 4 now, but course bet is horse number 5. But I think Johnny will cut the race. I think Brookdale Johnny will probably sit on her back, and there's a shot she may go all the way here too. She's done it before lots of times here at EPR. So J.J. Brienne right now is pretty good odds, Kurt. 6 to 1 right now on number 5, J.J. Brienne.
Yeah, good value on anybody if you want to get off that colt on the rail for
exactly.
sure. Rolling Pegs, who I threw in, chucked her in for a piece here this afternoon. Definitely a much improved year for the mare this year. 10 times out of 15 she's hit the board, and just about she'll go over $5,000 today in purse money, because she will be getting a check here today for sure. But I think she moves into post 2. Mark Hag knows her well. Dale Orr owns with Robert Orr, trainer Gordy White, sends her to the gate, and I think we'll see her spotted well early. And I think we'll see her catch a piece of it here. And if the Colt's just not on his game, you never know. She could be one to have a shot as well.
Yeah, and you look at her lines there, her last couple of years, she raced 16 times last year. Today is her 16th start, and she's made almost $3,000 more money this year. So she started the year fantastic here at Exhibition Park. She loves this track, and she could be a player here, especially for to hit the top 3 from post number 3, Rolling Peg, and driver Mark Hay.
Last chance to wager here now on race number 1. Starters are assembling on the backstretch for the Ken Atkinson Memorial. They will be going to the gate, moving into position. Starting gate is in position. And for the first of the last, we'll send it upstairs to track announcer Brock McCachran with the race call for race number 1.
For race number 1 are now in behind the starting gate and on the turn. Race 1 is the Ken Atkinson Memorial, going for a purse of $2,000. From the rail out, we have Brookdale Johnny and Bernard McCollum. Rolling Peg with Mark Haig. Thank you all, my fans. Stephen Treitz outside. JJ Brienne. John Davidson scratched down to a field of 4. It's post time at Exhibition Park. Here they come. There they go, off and pacing. Rolling Peg fires out of there for Mark Hag. She's the leader into the first turn from the outside. Thank you all, my fans. Was looking for a seat, but Brookdale Johnny from the inside. He'll now take second. Thank you all, my fans. Has third. JJ Brienne with a surprise move today. She takes back the last. She can see them all for Davidson out of the first turn en route to the opening quarter. They chase the 5-year-old daughter of Vera Darrow Hanover. This is Rolling Peg and the Hagler. They set up shop on the front end. Leaders by the opening quarter. Rolling Peg took them there. 30-2, got her to the opening quarter. Brookdale Johnny now sits in second. Thank you all, my fans. Holds down third. JJ Brienne, still no move from her. She's at the back, biding her time today as the horses roll by the 3/8. See the geese on the inside. Hope they stay right where they're at as they come in front of the fans first time around. Rolling Peg, her lead now length and a half. Brookdale Johnny there a little sideways in the 2-hole. Gets a tap on the tail. Here comes JJ Brienne. She was 5th. Third, second on the outside with a rush and a brush. Here comes JJ Brienne by the half, 103. Second quarter, 32-2, but they're picking them up, laying them down now. Rolling Peg on the inside, JJ Brienne right up to her saddle pad as they go by 5/8. No place to race right now for Brookdale Johnny. Thank you all, my fans, from 4th. On down the backside they go. It's still Rolling Peg on the inside. On the outside, JJ Brienne. Right there on the inside. That was Brookdale Johnny. Sorry about the truck noise. They were all by 3/4. It's still Rolling Peg. JJ Brienne on the outside, not going away. Brookdale Johnny's begging for a way off the cones. Thank you all, my fans, is 4th. They'll settle this one in the stretch. Rolling Peg's driving for the line. Outside JJ Brienne. Brookdale Johnny found a seam late. Rolling Peg needs the line. Brookdale Johnny's coming, but not in time. Rolling Peg got there for Mark Hag. Brookdale Johnny was second. JJ Brienne was third. Time for the mile, 2:04 flat.
Well, driver Mark Haig knew right where he wanted to be today in the opener with Roland Peg, and that was right on the front end. Took no prisoners, right down the road. Had a brief challenge from J.J. Briand just past the half, but well-driven winner by Mark Haig, who hung on to beat the 2-year-old just underneath the wire. We're going to see a lot of people in the winner's circle here today. Hopefully we do all day long here. And the Ken Atkinson Memorial, congratulations to the connections of Roland Peg, driver Mark Haig, trainer Gordy White, Dale and Robert Orr, the owners. We'll see them coming back in the winner's circle in just a moment.
Like Kurt said, folks, any of the fans here today, if you've never been to the Winter Circle at Exhibition Park, today is your day. Step right up. Just make sure you pay attention to the warm-up horses and the equipment out there. But all are welcome in the Winter Circle here today in all 7 races. Now making her way back in front of the fans comes the winner of race number 1, the Kenneth Atkinson Memorial. It's the 3-entry Roland Peg. She's a 5-year-old daughter of Veradero Hanover from the Apache's famed mare, Kez Sophia. She's a homebred of Dale Orr's of St. John, co-owned with his brother Robert Orr. Gordon White does the training. Mark Haig did the driving here this afternoon. Put the big mare on top all the way. That's win number 4 on the season, win number 5 on her career. She stopped the clock today, 2:04 for Roland Peg. Congratulations to Mark Haig, Dale Orr, Gordon White, and Roland Peg on capturing the Ken Atkinson Memorial. Friends and family on hands in the winner's circle, remembering Ken Atkinson here today at Exhibition Park. Big thanks to Rob Tate. Rob's on the left here with the cooler. He did the sponsorship today, and we thank him for that. Nice photo here in race number 1. Congratulations to Roland Peg. Just a note to anybody out there looking to view the races online, we are having some small problems right now. Universal Media working hard to get out the kinks, but we're getting lots of calls here letting us know that the races are not online, but we will have those up shortly, hopefully here in the next little while. But we are aware of the problem. Ladies and gentlemen, race number 1 is official. Race number 1 is official. The 1 Brookdale Johnny was second. 2 Love and Paradise, scratch due to transportation. The 3 Roland Peg, your race winner. 4 Thank You All My Fans was fourth, and 5 JJ Brienne finished third. Top down your program should read 2 scratch 1, 4 3 on the bottom. Fractions were up quarter 30 and 2, half 103 flat. 3/4 133 and 2. Mile time for your winner. Number 3 Roland Peg, 204 flat. Curtis Johnson, could you please get us the pari-mutuels here for race number 1? They're not working on the monitors upstairs, so Kurt, if we could please have you let everybody know the pari-mutuels here from race number 1, please. Thanks.
Absolutely, Brock. And here are the pays. Roland Peg, your winner, returned $9.90 on the nose to win, $2.20 to place. Your 1 entry, Brookdale Johnny, was $2.10 to place. The $2 exactor pay on the 31 was $100.80, and a $1 triactor, 315, $1 pay, $11. So $22 for your $2 ticket.
The horses and drivers for race number 2 are now on to the racetrack for the post parade. Race 2 is the first division of the New Brunswick Breeder Stakes for 3-year-old Colt Final. It's going for $8,640, and it's also the Peter and Jean Gray Memorial. Number 1 is Brumby, owned by 5 guys, Horses and Lives of Charlottetown. Jamie Smith does the training. Dave Dowling's in the seat from the rail. Number 1, Brumby. 2, Theodore J. Down, owned by Steve Downey of Quispam Sis, a homebred of his. Steve Mason does the training. He will do the driving from post 2, Theodore J. Down. And rounding out the field from post 3 is Big Time Brawler, owned by Dr. Mitch Downey of St. John, also a homebred of his. Ellen Stevenson does the training. Mike Downey will do the driving from post 3, Big Time Brawler. $8,640 is on the line. It is the New Brunswick Breeders' Colt Final. Only 3 here eligible. It's also the Peter and Jean Gray Memorial, sponsored by Belinda Gray and Dave White. We thank them for the sponsorship here today and the cooler presentation to the winner. We have exactor win wagering here in race number 2. Don't be left out. Race 2 starters will be headed to the gate in a few moments' time.
And with starters on track for our second race, the Peter and Jean Gray Memorial, which is also the NB Breeders' 3-year-old Colt Final. Field of 3 to contest this event. Nice purse of $8,640. And Scotty, we're going to look. I know I went to the rail starter in the first race, didn't work out. He was second. We're going to go back to the rail again. Pretty confident in Brumby here this afternoon. 3-year-old son of Pang Shui comes in 11 times out of the top 3 this year out of 16 starts, $26,000 in the bank. I mean, his last start was just last week in Charlottetown. He raced in the Breeders' Crown Final and was a respectable 4th after having to tough out a first over trip. Raced really well. 154 and 4 was his charted mile on that occasion. Before that, he had a couple of seconds and a win, all pacing right around 155. So this Colt, only the 3 wins out of his 16 starts, but he had he's raced the very best the Maritimes had to offer all season long. But I think today in the short horse field, rail control, he's had success here before at EPR, and with the superstar in town, Dave Dowling gets the call from trainer Jamie Smith, and I'm going to go with a Brumby to get her done here in the second.
Yeah, this horse right off the inside post should win this one, Kurt. As you say, no stranger here at Exhibition Park Raceway, has won here before and loves this racetrack, and of course was bred by Belinda Gray, and this race named in her parents' honor. And So nice touch there for number 1, Brumby, and almost $27,000 made this year too. So like you were saying, he's raced some of the nicest 3-year-olds in the Maritimes this year, and he gets pretty good class today. So can't see them beating him here. Kurt Brumby from post 1 and driver David Dowling.
We put Big Time Brawler in the 2 spot here, racing for Mike Downey, Dr. Mitchell Downey, trainer Ellen Stevenson. He's 8 times this year out of 13 top 3, almost $8,000 made. His fastest win was 158 and 4 in Charlottetown. Mike will do the driving today. I figure he'll be able to drop right in behind Brumby. Of course, not going to be a whole lot of action in the 3-horse race, but I think he's definitely good enough to take home the second prize, and he'll be trying to keep as close as he can to Brumby without trying to let him get away, and see if maybe he can take a shot in the stretch. But I think he's going to end up in the runner-up spot.
Yeah, he's had a pretty good year. He hasn't raced in about a month. 13 starts this year. He does have 3 wins, almost $8,000 earned, and 3 wins to his credit on the season, and a mark of 58 and 4. Taking over Charlottetown. So should get a 2-hole trip like you mentioned, and I think it's going to be between the 1 and the 3, and of course Theodore J. Down should round out the top 3 here, Kurt.
Well, he is a 4-time third place finisher this year, Scott. He had a 12 starts, so I figured what a better spot to put him is in the 3 spot.
There you go.
Thinking, looking at it, he had 3 of the 4 third place finishes there back earlier this summer. Of course, he races out of the Steve Mason stable for owner Steve Downey, and still, if anything can happen in a horse race, but even if he ends up in that 3rd spot, he still takes home a good check today. So yeah, we'll put him in for the 3 spot and round it out as a 1-3-2. Of course, only exactor and win betting here in race 2, and they'll be going to the gate shortly. Last chance to wager.
And keep in mind today as well, 50-50 tickets are selling. Scott Bernard around the barn area over here as well. So 50-50 should be a great prize for today. So make sure you get in on today's 50-50. Looks like the gate's getting into position on the backstretch. So the starters will be called up shortly here for race number 2. And it is the Peter and Jean Gray Memorial, the Embry Breeders Finals for 3-year-old pacing colts.
Starters are moving into position now for race number 2. Peter and Jean Gray Memorial MB Breeders 3-year-old colt final. Wings open, wheels a roll, and we'll send it upstairs once again to Brock with the race call.
Thanks, Kurt. Race 2 starters are behind the starting gate and on the turn. Race 2 is the Peter and Jean Gray Memorial. It's also the final of the New Brunswick Breeders' Championship for 3-year-old pacing colts. Brumby, the 2-year-old champion last year, here to defend his title. Gates at the top of the stretch from the inside. We have Brumby and Dave Dowling. Theodore J. Down with Steve Mason, and outside, that's Big Time Brawler and Mike Downey. Field of 3 in the New Brunswick Breeders' Stake. Here they come. There they go, off and pacing. Big Time Brawler fires out of there from the outside. He's looking for the front. From the inside, though, Brumby has position. These two hook up around the first turn. Brumby on the inside. He wants the front for Dowling. Big Time Brawler on the outside. He wants nothing less than the 2-hole. He'll now take that for Mr. Downey and Theodore J. Down. Well, he's third, but he can see them all. Compact field of 3. Dowling will now tap the brakes on Brumby. En route to the opening quarter, Brumby sets up shop on the front. Big Time Brawler stalks him from second. Theodore J. Down third. The Colts were by the opening quarter in 29 and 4. Not a bad opening quarter for a 3-horse field. And Brumby looks like he's under tight lines as he rolls by 3/8 for the superstar. Right there on his back, that's Big Time Brawler. Theodore J. Down got a reminder to keep up from third as the Colts come in front of the fans. First time around, three-year-old son, of Peng Shui. That's Brumby, halfway home for Dowling. Big time brawler staying with them, though. They were halfway home, a minute flat. Nice opening panel for the Colts as they roll by the 5/8. Brumby still the leader. Big time brawler, though, is just biding his time in second. He may take a run at some point. Then we have Theodore J. down in third. The pace quickens to three-quarters. It's still Brumby. Big time brawler, though. He's only a length back, and he will get a chance as they roll by three-quarters. Brumby is the leader, 129-4. Third panel just like the first, 29-4. And Brumby looks strong on the turn. Big time brawler's been with him, but he's now a length off him at the top of the stretch. Theodore J. down has third, nailed down as they come through the stretch. It's Brumby, the 2-year-old champ. He's back to take the 3-year-old division with ease. The further they go, the more he's going to win by. It's Brumby down on the line. Big time brawler second. Theodore J. down is third. 1-3-2 in race number 2. Time for the mile. 1:59-1 for Brumby. Back in front of the fans comes the winner of race number 2, the New Brunswick Breeders' Colt Final and the Peter and Jean Gray Memorial. It's the one-horse Brumby. He's a 3-year-old gelded son of Peng Shui from the Twinbee champ mare Anatavika. Owned by 5 guys, horses and lies. Charlottetown, Prince Edward Island. Jamie Smith does the training. Dave Dowling did the driving from the rail. Brumby went all the way right down the road. Stopped the clock today, 1:59-1. That's his 5th win on his career, 4th on the season. Pushes his bankroll over $50,000. And special note, he was bred by Belinda Gray of Maxwell, New Brunswick. Belinda in the winner's circle. Her and Dave sponsoring the race in honor of Belinda's parents here today, Peter and Jean Gray, the memorial, and also the New Brunswick Breeders' Final. Congratulations to the connections: Brumby, 5 guys, horses and lies, Jamie Smith, and the superstar, Dave Dowling. Race 2 has gone official. Race 2 is official. 1, Brumby, the race winner. 2, Theodore J. down third. And 3, Big Time Brawler was second. Top down your program should read 1-3-2. Fractions for race number 2. Quarter was up 29-4. Half, 1 minute flat. 3/4, 129-4. Mile time for Brumby, 1:59-1. Kurt will have your pays.
And Brumby to win returned $2.10 to win. The $2 exactor 1 and 3 also paid $2.10. And your $2 daily double 3 and 1 returned $16.80.
While we await the starters for race number 3, folks, don't forget race 3 is the start of the pick 5. Try and pick all the winners that remain on the card. Races 3 through 7. $1 wager. It's been very popular here at Exhibition Park this year. And mandatory payout today. So even if you don't select all 5 winners, if nobody else does, it will pay on 4 out of 5, then 3 out of 5, etc. So mandatory payout here today on the pick 5, and it starts right here in race number 3. So still have time. Make sure you get a pick 5 this afternoon. The upcoming third race, sponsored by the Kirkpatrick family. They were honored this last weekend at the Atlantic Breeders' Crown for more than 50 years being in harness racing here in New Brunswick. I believe they're the 13th family from the province to be honored that way. Congratulations to them. And we're going to have a race here in their honor here coming up in race number 3. We thank Dave Kirkpatrick for sponsoring the cooler today in race number 3.
It's an update on our 50-50, ladies and gentlemen. Scott told us that the winning share right now is over $200 to the winner. So our prize is up to $200, over $200 for the winner. So you can still get your 50-50 tickets.
Horses and drivers for race number 3 now stepping onto the track for the post parade. Horses and drivers for race number 3. The Kirkpatrick family pace is now on the racetrack. Race 3 goes for a purse of $2,100. Exactor, Triactor, Win Place, and the popular pick 5 starts here in race number 3. Number 1 is Electric Sill, owned by Andrea Renison, Clarissa Mahar. Trained by George Renison, Todd Treitz is in the sulky from the rail. Number 1, Electric Sill. 2, That's Some Plan, owned by Bob McNeil of St. John. Bob does the training. Dave Dowling will be in the sulky. Mark Haig is parading, though. Note Mark Haig parading the 2, That's Some Plan. Dave Dowling will drive. Number 3 is Instant Shadow. He's owned by the Ultimate Stable and Don Hubbard of Greater Lakeburn. Don does the training. John Davidson will do the driving from post 3, Instant Shadow. Number 4, Pickpocket Princess, owned by Wayne Hubbard of St. John, a homebred of his. Wayne does the training. Stephen Treitz, the pilot this afternoon from post 4, Pickpocket Princess. Number 5, Ultimate Flying Nun, is owned by the Ultimate Stable of Greater Lakeburn, New Brunswick. Don Hubbard also the trainer of this one. Son Kyle Mason is the driver from post 5, Ultimate Flying Nun. Field of 5 to contest race number 3, the Kirkpatrick Family Pace, going for a purse of $2,100. Cooler presentation to the winner, kindly sponsored by Mr. Dave Kirkpatrick. Post time is in a few moments' time for race number 3. Good luck, and don't forget to try your luck at the Pick 5.
And with starters on track for race number 3, the Kirkpatrick Family Pace. We're going to go to 5 entries here in this race. Scotty on track right now. I was looking at it. We were just talking off camera about it being definitely a very competitive race here.
Yeah, much more than the other two.
Definitely, you could make it. You could make a case for any of them here. I landed on Instant Shadow here this afternoon. I'm going to look for him to capture his first win of 2022 here this afternoon. Owned by the Ultimate Stable and Don Hubbard. Of course, Don Hubbard trains the 9-year-old son of Shadow Play. Johnny D is in the bike. Johnny's been on board for the last couple starts in Summerside, and that's why I like he's put together a couple of good solid efforts. Mind you, both runner-up finishes, but paced in 58-3 on September 19th, and then back in a nice mile 57-3 on October the 4th. So he leaves in the middle of the pack with post 3. I see Johnny busting him out for good early position, and we'll see maybe if he can get the job done here.
Yeah, and Johnny, of course, one of our veteran drivers here in Exhibition Park history for sure, and he gets along well with this fella. A couple seconds his last couple starts, and has post 3. The horse can leave, Kurt. He can also come from off the pace, as we've seen him do a number of times. But a lot of early speed in here too. We got the 14-year-old veteran off the rail too, Electric Sill, making his final starts for his career, and he's done all right so far this year. 6 of 19 in the top 3. He's got the rail, he's got Rockin' Todd in the bike, so should be tough here from post 1, but very wide open field.
Yes, absolutely. I actually did go to Electric Sill in the 2 spot.
Yeah, I like him.
The old veteran, he's been racing really well. He took him a few starts to get rolling this summer, but he's really starting to put together some nice efforts. Pacing sub 2 minutes pretty much every time you send him to the gate. His last start just beat a neck. Nice mile 157-4. So the old boy's not going to want to retire at the end of the season after it's time for him to hang him up. So of course he's been a Maritime regular over the years, and everybody around these parts definitely know of Electric Sill. So of course he has rail control here today, Todd in the bike. So yeah, we can definitely see him, and it would not surprise many if he was to get up and get her done in the last strides.
No, for sure. And another in here, That's Some Plan, and David Dowling driving here this afternoon for owner Bob McNeil. He trains the pacer who's been enjoying racing down in Maine, and just over $12,000 in the bike. So doing well this season, and picking up some checks down south of the border. So he's got post 2 with David Dowling, another one to consider here from post position number 2.
Yes, and you got the 2 mares on the outside, and 4 and 5 being Pickpocket Princess and Ultimate Flying Nun. I believe I went to, did I go to Ultimate Flying Nun? I got to look back here, Scotty. You said a competitive race, and I know who I picked. Yes, Ultimate Flying Nun, threw her in for the 3 spot here. She's 4 times top 2 at 10 starts this year with the lone victory. Has been racing mostly in Summerside, but she's one that closes on the end of her miles, as most of you know. So, I mean, the post 5's not going to bother her too much, because I see her getting involved late in the mile, and see if she can rattle off a nice last quarter and get herself into contention late.
Yeah, she's one of those stocking type, Kurt. So look for Kyle to put her into play late. She won a couple starts back there for Kenny Murphy off the pace, and she could do something like that here this afternoon with the right trip. So a field of 5. It looks like they're getting set here pretty much here, Kurt, for race number 3 in the afternoon.
Last chance to wager on that pick 5, starting right now, with the 3rd race going right to the end of today's program. Last chance to wager. Your starters are something on the backstretch. Hurry in. Starters moving into position now for race number 3, the Kirkpatrick Family Pace. Field of 5 to contest this event. Everybody taking an extra turn, but they'll be going to the gate shortly. Window still open for wagering.
Just a short delay here getting race 3 underway, folks. We got a pylon out of the ground here on the top of the stretch. We're going to get that fixed up, and the pacers for race number 3 will be headed to the starting gate. A little pylon repair here in the upper turn.
Starters are moving in now for race number 3. They are behind the gate, wings open, wheels are rolling. We'll send it upstairs once again to Brock with the race call.
Looks like the 2-horse needed a slight equipment adjustment as well, but he's now pointed in the right direction. Hopefully we'll get the other 4 in that same direction, and race number 3 will be headed to the starting gate here in about 30 seconds time, I would say. All right, let's try this again. Starters for the 3rd are on the backstretch. Race 3 is the Kirkpatrick Family Pace. Cooler presentation to the winner. Starters lining up in behind the starting gate and on the turn from the rail out, we have the 14-year-old Electric Sill and Todd Trites. That's Some Plan with Dave Dowling. Instant Shadow with John Davidson. Pickpocket Princess Stephen Trites outside. Ultimate Flying Nun and Kyle Mason. It's a field of 5. Race number 3, the Kirkpatrick Family Pace. Here they come. They go off and pacing. Great start. 4 wide out of there. Pickpocket Princess in between pacers. Instant Shadow from the cones. Electric Sill and Trites. He stacks them up wide round the first turn. Electric Sill on the inside. He wants the front for Todd Trites. Instant Shadow's now looking to seat himself into the 2-hole. That's some plan. Got away well. He'll hold down third. Pickpocket Princess under tight lines fourth, and Ultimate Flying Nun can see them at the back. But we've got action out of the 2-hole. Instant Shadow, just like that, shot to the front for Davidson. He's the leader by the opening quarter. 29 seconds flat. Instant Shadow. He has command of the racetrack. On his back now, Electric Sill. Here's a move from Pickpocket Princess. She was fourth, but getting gapped out. But she's on the move now for Stephen Trites, picking up third on the outside. That's some plan. Holds down fourth, and Ultimate Flying Nun, the hard closer. She's where she's supposed to be right now. She's at the back as they come in front of the fans first time around. The battle's on now. Instant Shadow looks over at Pickpocket Princess. They were halfway home in a serious panel. 57-4. 57-4 by the opening half for Instant Shadow. But Pickpocket Princess is right up to look the leader in the eye, and she's trying to drive by down the backside. Instant Shadow has more, though. 3 wide move, Electric Sill. The battle's on now to 3/4. Electric Sill. 3 wide for Trites. Instant Shadow still on the cones. Pickpocket Princess still there in between them by 3/4. 129 flat. All 5 still in it as they round the far turn. Instant Shadow on the outside. Pickpocket Princess. Electric Sill came to play, and he's 3 wide and driving for Trites. Down the stretch they come. Electric Sill finds the front. He's going to have to hold off the Flying Nun. She's on the far outside, and she's closing hard for Mason. Down to the line. Ultimate Flying Nun. Oh, that's close. Here, Electric Sill. It's tight at the line. We'll let the judges decide. What a horse race, folks. Time for the line. 2 minutes for Fez.
Yeah, what a great finish. Might have been Ultimate Flying Nun on the far outside, but what a great finish, as Brock said, here in race number 3. And it'll be a photo finish to determine the winner here in race number 3 of the afternoon. The Kirkpatrick Family Pace, and another cooler presentation to the winning entry. But again, tight finish there between Ultimate Flying Nun. Electric Sill was there. And again, a big thank you to the Kirkpatrick family. They were named.
First, Ultimate Flying Nun, Parade the 5. Ultimate Flying Nun. Now making their way back in front of the fans comes the winner of race number 3. It's the 5-entry Ultimate Flying Nun. She's a 10-year-old mare by Driven to Win from the Cam Best mare, You to Best. Owned by the Ultimate Stable of Greater Lakeburn, New Brunswick. Don Hubbard does the training. Son Kyle Mason did the driving. Last one to fire, first one at the wire. Ultimate Flying Nun sat last the whole way. She had the legs when it counted, though, folks, and she got by them in the lane up in time. Congratulations to the connections, the Ultimate Stable, Don Hubbard and son Kyle Mason, and of course, Ultimate Flying Nun. And congratulations from the Kirkpatrick family. They honored this year at the Atlantic Breeders' Crown Weekend in Charlottetown. Over 50 years in the sport here in the province of New Brunswick. Congratulations to the Kirkpatrick family, and congratulations to the connections of the winning horse here, Ultimate Flying Nun, in race number 3. Nice picture, folks.
Yeah, don't forget to get a 50-50 ticket, prize over $200 today. So make sure you get your 50-50 ticket.
Race number 3 is going official. Race number 3 headed official. The 1, Electric Sill, was second. 2, That Some Plan, was third. 3, Instant Shadow, was fifth. 4, Pickpocket Princess, fourth. And the 5, Ultimate Flying Nun, your race winner. Top down your program should read 2, 3, 5, 4, 1 on the bottom. Fractions quarter was up 29 flat. Half 57 and 4. 3/4 129 even. Mile time for your winner. Number 5, Ultimate Flying Nun, 2 minutes 4/5. Parimutuel payouts. Kurt will have those for you in a moment's time.
Thank you, Brock. And yes, the pays are as follows. Ultimate Flying Nun, your winner, returned $10.50 on the nose to win. No place tickets sold. Electric Sill returned $8.40 to place. $2 Exactor 5-1 returned $36.90. And a $1 Triactor 5-1-2, nice ticket, $163.20.